Remember, we talked about the 4 distinct phases of this 50-year technological cycle. There's the institution phase in phase 1. Bitcoin's in that phase. We're seeing now in phase 2, the institutions are here. MicroStrategy, or now Strategy, is buying up as much Bitcoin as they can. Metaplanet, we keep seeing their ads pop up. They're on a race to buy Bitcoin. Every treasury company is trying to add as much Bitcoin as they can to the balance sheets. Governments are starting to accumulate Bitcoin at a rapid rate. We're watching the smart money position before this mass deployment starts to happen. The frenzy phase for Bitcoin parallels what's happening with AI. Because in these 50-year technological revolution cycles, it's not about one single technology, it's a cluster. And so Bitcoin and AI are tracking together. Both technologies are converging at the perfect moment. It's not a coincidence. This is how the cycles work.
Mark Moss says we're living through the biggest productivity shift since the industrial age, and it's being driven by AI. At the very same time, for the first time in over a century, there's a real alternative to fiat money, Bitcoin. For the last 100 years, every leap in productivity bled away through inflation. Wages rose on paper, but purchasing power slipped as central banks printed and governments borrowed. Moss argues that Bitcoin rewrites the script. Its supply is fixed at 21 million. No government can print more. No politician can quietly dilute it. The gains from AI-driven efficiency don't get siphoned off, they get stored. AI is the engine. It makes us faster, smarter, and more productive. But without a store of value, those benefits leak out. That's where Bitcoin steps in. Fiat money is unlimited and centrally managed, designed to fight deflation at any cost. Bitcoin is scarce and decentralized. It preserves healthy deflation, so over time your money buys more, not less. Moss says we're in the second stage of Bitcoin's adoption cycle. Institutions are accumulating, corporations, investment funds, even governments. They're positioning before the inevitable wave of mass adoption. Historically, these tech revolutions don't come as single breakthroughs. They come in clusters. AI and Bitcoin are the 2 pillars of this one. AI generates the economic energy of the future. Bitcoin stores it across time. Together, they mark a break from the last century's system, one where productivity gains finally stay with the people who created them. If you found value in this breakdown, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with other investors who are paying attention. We're here to keep bringing you sharp analysis and voices that actually understand what's unfolding. Thanks for watching.
About 2 years ago, inflation in the United States reached 9%. That means for the average person making $30 an hour, they had to work an extra 10 hours per month just to buy the same amount of goods and services that they did the month before. An extra 10 hours per month that could have gone to your health or your fitness, your new business, your family. But instead, you had to work those hours just to have the same quality of life that you had the month before. But this time is different. This time we have the biggest productivity revolution with AI that we've seen since the 1870s. It's happening right now. And for the first time since 1913, we have a sound money alternative. We have absolute scarcity meeting infinite efficiency. For the first time in 110 years, we can actually keep the gains. That's where Bitcoin comes in. Instead of watching your purchasing power dwindle down, instead of watching your purchasing power seep out of this leaky bucket for the last 110 years, we have digital sound money. We have Bitcoin. And here's how it captures the deflation dividend. So when AI makes us 40% more efficient, more productive, we can take that time, that cost savings that we get, and now we can store that in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, is the only digital asset, scarce asset with a fixed supply of only 21 million. No central bank can print more, no politician can debase it. Your AI productivity gains that the world gets are able to be locked in Bitcoin permanently, and the energy cannot leak out of it. So Bitcoin fixes that leaky bucket of fiat money. So if we look at and compare the properties, we can see the stark difference. Fiat money has unlimited supply, it has central control, and fiat money fights this natural, healthy deflation. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is fixed supply. It's completely decentralized. Nobody controls it. It preserves that healthy deflation, so our money can buy us more goods and services in the future. It stores our productivity gains perfectly across time. This is the first time technology in over a century is actually allowing us to capture the technological progress. We talked about the 4 distinct phases of this 50-year technological cycle. There's the institution phase in phase 1. Bitcoin's in that phase. We're seeing now in phase 2, the institutions are here. MicroStrategy, or now Strategy, is buying up as much Bitcoin as they can. Metaplanet, we keep seeing their ads pop up. They're on a race to buy Bitcoin. Every treasury company is trying to add as much Bitcoin as they can to the balance sheets. Governments are starting to accumulate Bitcoin at a rapid rate. We're watching the smart money position before this mass deployment starts to happen. The frenzy phase for Bitcoin parallels what's happening with AI. Because in these 50-year technological revolution cycles, it's not about one single technology, it's a cluster. And so Bitcoin and AI are tracking together. Both technologies are converging at the perfect moment. It's not a coincidence. This is how the cycles work. And here's the perfect pairing. AI plus Bitcoin equals the productivity revolution that we finally get to keep. Think of it this way. AI is the engine that generates massive economic energy, and Bitcoin is the battery that now stores that economic energy. We like that? Bitcoin is that battery. Now, this is digital abundance meeting digital scarcity for the first time in history. Technology finally serves us, not just central bankers. Now, for 110 years, as I showed you, our productivity gains have been stolen continuously by the money printer. Working against technology, every time we make our lives easier, they take a little bit away. AI is now creating the largest abundance boom in history. Don't get caught up in the doomers. They're just running cover so they can continue to print money and steal that from you.
Mark Moss says headlines from Goldman Sachs warn AI could wipe out 300 million jobs. Other analysts go further, saying half the jobs on Earth could disappear. The picture they paint is bleak, a world without work where universal basic income is the only way to survive. Moss pushes back. This isn't the first time people have feared the end of work. Every major technological revolution sparks the same panic, and history shows it's never the end, it's a shift. Jobs disappear but new industries and roles emerge. The truth, he argues, is that AI is the biggest opportunity of our lifetime. He points to something larger at play. Three massive cycles are colliding right now: a 50-year technological revolution cycle, an 80-year financial cycle, and a 250-year political cycle. Together they're reshaping the world. But for Moss, the 50-year tech cycle is the most important lens for understanding AI. That cycle has a consistent pattern. New technologies first cause disruption and fear, then open the door to massive productivity gains. Each time, societies reorganize, economies expand, and new leaders emerge. AI is simply the next chapter in that recurring story. Let's get back to the interview.
300 million is the number of jobs that are supposedly going to be taken away per Goldman Sachs. It's the number of jobs that are going to be lost because of artificial intelligence, because of AI. They try to tell you that the future we're going into, there's not going to be any jobs. We might need universal basic income to take care of people. What are they going to do? Other reports say that maybe as much as half the jobs will be taken by AI. But I'm here to tell you something different. I'm here to tell you that this is not the first time that we've faced this question. In fact, history tells us, it actually shows us and gives us a blueprint for the answer. And the blueprint tells us that this is not a moment to fear, but instead, it's the greatest opportunity of our lifetime. Now, while Goldman Sachs is panicking about AI jobs being taken, what they're missing is the much bigger picture. The much bigger picture is that we're not just in a technological revolution of AI and Bitcoin and decentralization. We're in the final phase of an 80-year financial cycle that's actually resetting right now. And here's the paradox. The very system that the governments are trying to save right now with money printing is designed to steal the very gains of AI from you. That's the paradox. And this creates a perfect storm. I talk a lot about cycles. It's not just a 50-year technological cycle that we have right now or an 80-year financial cycle I just showed you, but there's actually three cycles that are converging right now for the same time: a 50-year technological revolution cycle, an 80-year financial cycle, and a 250-year political revolution. You see, the entire world is shifting right now, but very few see what's actually going on. While Goldman Sachs is panicking about AI, they're missing the bigger picture. But for now, we're going to keep this short. We're going to keep this into focusing on just the single 50-year technological revolution cycle, because that is the blueprint for what I want to talk about right now. It's what I call a quantum leap. It's where humanity takes this giant leap forward, and it happens about every 50 years. It's happened 6 times now in the last 250 years. Since the Industrial Revolution, I'm going to walk you through those. And this blueprint happens about a 50-year time period, and there's 4 distinct phases that this goes through. Phase 1 is the technology emerges. It was introduced, it's fun, it's revolutionary, it's disruptive. We try a bunch of different things. Early adopters experiment with this technology. We got Bitcoin, then we got a cryptocurrency boom. Phase 2 is where we have the panic and the resistance. This is where AI is right now. The establishment starts to panic. Oh my gosh, governments need to get a control on this. Goldman Sachs says it's going to take everybody's jobs. What are we going to do? Workers start fearing replacement. Let's start talking about welfare, universal basic income. Phase 3, adoption, integration. Now the technology proves it's valuable. Businesses integrate it. New jobs start to emerge. And phase 4 is the transformation and the abundance. That's where the society is completely transformed. Living standards rise, but not if governments have their way with it. We're going to talk about that. Now, every generation thinks that this time is different. Anyone heard that before? This time is different? Well, I have the receipts. I have the receipts for 250 years of data that every 50 years, the tech wave kills drudgery, not jobs. For 250 years, the doomers have been wrong, and they're going to continue to be wrong because the mistake that they make is they're mistaking task disruption with job disruption. It's a big difference.
What stands out in this moment is the convergence of 2 forces that rarely align, an economic engine and a monetary anchor. The rise of artificial intelligence represents an explosion of capability, compressing time, effort, and cost in ways that fundamentally reshape how wealth is created. At the same time, a digital monetary network built on scarcity offers a way to actually preserve that wealth rather than see it eroded through endless currency dilution. Taken together, the pairing suggests a departure from the familiar cycles of growth followed by inflation that marked the last century. Instead, the possibility emerges of a system where efficiency gains are retained, where value is protected across generations, and where individuals, not just institutions, stand to benefit. This isn't simply about new technology or alternative money in isolation. It's about the first real chance to fuse creation with preservation on a global scale, setting the stage for a very different economic order. Could this alignment of technological acceleration and monetary transformation mark the beginning of a new era where prosperity no longer leaks away but compounds over time? So stay tuned. If you're into real, data-backed takes on the financial system, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the weekly updates. Thank you for the support, and I hope you enjoy the video.